Hi Virgo, this is your general tarot reading for Virgo Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of March. So how are you doing, Virgo? My guess is you're doing okay because there's so many good things happening for you in March. It's going to be your month because you leave February and enter March on that beautiful glow of love, that energy in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. Even for those of you who are single, relationships and work, people that you work closely with or have a good relationship with, the communication is flowing freely. It feels good to be around them and they feel good being around you. As the first card comes out, the Sun, you see, feels good being around you and you're enjoying the little sunshine of love. Of course you are, you sunny thing, the sunshine of love. And I mean, on top of that, on the very first day of March, there is a big full moon and it's a Virgo full moon, which should totally suit you, Virgo. It means that you will be more open about expressing yourself, who you are and what you do. Suddenly it will be more fluid, it will be more expressive. And people will listen to you and listen to you deeply, the things that you say, the things that you offer in your work life, in any part of your life. It's like suddenly you're the boss on the first day of March. And enjoy that feeling. Enjoy that feeling, Virgo. It could get a bit weird if you are in that mode of everything is going your way and you're the boss. In relationships, they may or may not appreciate you being the boss, but that's something you'll figure out. That's something that you'll be able to talk through under the influence of this beautiful Virgo moon. Your health will definitely be on the up. For those of you who have suffered any ill health, you will get an insight into how to fix that. Great insights in your career too, in your work life. You'll be able to communicate your ideas very quickly and effectively to your colleagues. And again, they'll listen. They'll look at you and feel that that is exactly the right thing that we have to do. What they said, what Virgo said is exactly the way we're going. So it's a great energy, Virgo. Great energy for you. What else is going on? Now, around the 7th of March, there is activity. Mercury and Venus then enters your 8th house. Now this could get interesting in a few ways. Firstly, in the most interesting way, that your relationships could begin to develop into something more. They'll get deeper, they'll get more intimate. The superficiality will be removed from them and you'll connect very much so on a psychic level and you'll just feel very tuned in with your partners or relationships. Again, if you're single, it's just that energy of tuning in, going deeper into all the relationships that you have in your life and trying to examine and explore what makes these other people tick. So that's a really nice thing. And of course, it can't be too bad if you're getting very, very deep and intimate with your lover in many ways. So that's another nice energy. It's all nice energy for you, Virgo. One thing to watch out for, though, in terms of your relationships, as I look down here at the chart, the new moon there on the 17th of March in your 7th house again, with this relationship energy and with this high, intense focus energy that you're going through March with, some of you, not all of you, may disclose something about your partner. Sure, you're enjoying the communication, you're enjoying the intimacy, you're enjoying being so close, like soul connected with them towards the end of March, for those who are in a relationship. Yet, something will begin to creep in because you are the analyzer, the observer, the one who sees. And the 8th house is the one who digs up truths. So you may find that there are some truths coming out in your relationship, in your partner, that you weren't expecting. you weren't expecting. Hopefully it doesn't go to the very, very, very dark end of things, which is that you unearth the fact that your lover is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that they have a nice side and a very deep and dangerous dark side, which actually might sound interesting for a moment, but probably will become a real problem later on for some of you Virgos. Page of Pentacles. We've only 2 cards so far. Now we do know that Saturn and Pluto are in your 5th house. They're putting a big squeeze and focus on 5th house things, which are your creativity, your joy, your expression, your sense of humor, and your children, and your romance, your love, anything that really comes from your heart. It's now being restricted. And sometimes for some of you it may feel a little bit joyless at the moment, that even though you do fun things, that it might be all a bit heavy. But don't panic, because Mars is going in there mid-month, and he's going to ramp things up a little bit, and he's going to probably force you to try that little bit harder to have fun. He'll force you to really push and be passionate about your creativity, about the things that bring you joy. And if you are in that relationship where things are getting a bit heavy and you feel that the romance is gone, then it's probably a good thing that Mars is going in there to try and reactivate a bit of passion and humor and fun and laughter into the relationship. You can't be all too serious, as the 10 of Wands just comes out there. Jupiter is going retrograde in your 3rd house, so he's going to invite you, the Knight of Cups, he's going to invite you to go back a little bit and expand upon your beliefs, the things that you believe in, about how you communicate your thoughts and ideas with others. And he's going to want you to see if you're really being authentic in that area, and if there's any miscommunications that need to be cleaned up and tidied up, then it's a good time in March to begin doing that, Virgo. And you know, it might be that some of you are going back to relearn a language, going back to relearn how to study some form of communication, you know, and how to really just go back and learn how to speak your mind more effectively and speak your truths more effectively. Strength is coming out there, Virgo. Now I'm going to shuffle the cards a couple of times here, and if we don't get any more cards jumping out, I'm going to just choose the cards for you. So that's basically the energy. It's really nice, and it's a great positive time for you. The King of Pentacles just hopped out there, then the 2 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. So we have a couple of Pentacles cards focusing on money. Yeah, that's the end of the month with the full moon in your 2nd house. He's going to ask you how you're spending your money. If you're going to make emotional spends, you know, you might get highly excited about something and decide to throw a bunch of money at it, and then there may be some regrets later. But it is going to ask you to have a little bit of focus on your finances, so by the end of the month you're not so stressed out and worried about that. And it's also a Libra moon at the very end of the month, so maybe if it's your partner that's being the big spender, you might want to have that conversation and ask them to rein it in, baby, rein it in. Okay, so that's the last one. The remaining cards haven't come out, so I'm going to choose them here. Yeah, rein in your spending. The 5 of Pentacles, the Emperor, Mars energy, we spoke about that. The 3 of Wands, and lastly the Hierophant. Yeah, your beliefs, and that really does represent the Jupiter retrograde, about going in and rediscovering how you can effectively and efficiently communicate your thoughts, opinions and ideas. And if you have a business, or if you're working in some field which requires you to communicate very effectively, then yeah, Jupiter wants you to go back and he wants you to rediscover how to do that in a very authentic way that comes from a place that you actually believe what you're doing. You believe in what you're selling. You believe in what you're communicating. So let's go and look at these cards, Virgo. Move, move. So we open up with the Sun. And I mean, I expect this because as we enter March, you're going to be feeling like this card. You're going to be feeling happy. You're going to be feeling that all things in your life are, you know, the sun is shining on them. It's like having the Midas touch. Everything you touch seems to be turning to gold. And I love that. I love that. So it's an increase in your health also, because we have a card here beside it which talks about health and money. You're on the up when it comes to all things to do with your health and finances. So if you have projects that you're developing, the sun is shining on that. And it's just a time, Virgo, where you can enjoy being that gorgeous creature that you are, that people pay attention to, and they like your company, and they particularly like your sense of humor. You remember I said mid-month, remember that you have this absolutely brilliant sense of humor and fun, and allow that to shine, because this is what we love about you, Virgo. And beside that is the Page of Pentacles. And what you will really feel the sun shining on is your finances. I get the sense here with this card that you're going back to square one. It's the card of the apprentice, the beginner. Somebody who knows a little bit or a lot, say, about some chosen subject or something that perhaps is your chosen field of expertise. But in March, you may really be considering going back and learning more, or going back and showing your skills and talents in a new way, that the sun is giving you the spotlight to show off your fabulosity and to show your self-worth too. That as we enter March, your self-worth is also on the up. The sun is shining on that. You're feeling good about yourself. You know, this is an earth sign too. Like yourself, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus are also earth signs. Perhaps the sun is shining on some of your earthier projects with your earthier friends, but definitely money and your self-worth and your career perhaps, or the things that you want to produce are all receiving that golden glow from the sun. It's a yes, baby. If you have a project, if there's something you're actively trying to develop and you feel that you're only starting at square one, the sun is saying go for it. Go for it. Beside it, Virgo, we have this unusual card, which it's unusual because you start off feeling so great about yourself, feeling that you're on some sort of wonderful mission in your life, but yet you're feeling overburdened. You've got a lot going on, a lot of plates to twirl in the air, a lot happening. But it seems that it's okay. It's a burden that you're prepared to carry. And I mean, he's doing it alone, which is something that you may have to look at. It might be a time in March, Virgo, where you may have to delegate the work and delegate some activities in your life, even if it's just household chores, something as small as that. You've got to start delegating and feeling that other people are pulling their weight, because you don't want to be the only one carrying everything and carrying everything on behalf of other people. Tell them to get their act together. It can't be just you doing all the work, you know. But here we have you then beside this card, the Knight of Cups. Are you feeling overburdened by your relationship, by your love? Is there some, for those of you who are in a relationship, is there something about this relationship that makes you feel that you're carrying it in some way, that it wouldn't really be much unless you were the one that had to do all the running, that you have to do all the paying for everything, that you have to really keep making it move. You're the one putting the fire in it. And they're just saying, oh, but you do all that and I'll just sit here being like the god or like the goddess and I'll let you do all the work. If that is the case for some of you Virgos, I think that's something you need to balance. It can't be that way. I know you're very, very good at coming in and helping people to organize the things in their life and to put a structure to other people's life. You're very generous in that way. But as I said this to another, I think it was Scorpio, I said, only help those who are helping themselves. You cannot carry other people's burdens, even if they are offering you love in return. You can't do it all. Now that's for some Virgos. On another side, a completely flip side, you are feeling overwhelmed and overburdened in your life, and perhaps it is love that's walking away from you or slipping through your fingers, or you can't quite grasp what it is that they need, that they're offering you. You can't quite understand them emotionally, and it's that's making you feel a little burdened and overwhelmed. But they are trying to show you that they love you. They are trying to express that, and they're trying to communicate that to you. But for some reason, it's making you feel a little bit burdened. It could also be self-reflection. This card and also the Page of Cups often represents deep self-reflection. Perhaps when you look deeply in yourself, there are things that you feel that you may need to change. Things that are weighing you down, that perhaps loving yourself or being in a state of having more value for yourself, that you won't feel so pressured and weighed down. And maybe some of you, there's just a knight or a goddess in shining armor coming to rescue you from this. Well, why not? We all need that sometimes. Here we have the Strength card, a Leo card. Interestingly enough, we have 2 Leo cards coming up in your reading. And Strength is also an 8 card. We know there's a lot of activity in your 8th house. The sun will be going into your 8th house mid-March. And this is the same thing I spoke to you about earlier. Going deep and wrestling with your demons. I mean, you're ready now in March to put a good few things to rest. If you have problems in your relationships, if you have problems expressing yourself in your creative field, in communicating your thoughts to other people, or indeed if you just have some demons about making money, then it is time to address them. It's time to recognize that you don't need to hold on to so many things of the past which may be hindering you from feeling like this guy, secure and confident in his life. He is the master of all he surveys because he has everything he needs materially. So perhaps there are some things that need to be addressed in your life, and in March you'll have the strength to do that, to go deep and investigate why it is that you don't have everything that you need. I mean, you may not have a Lamborghini, and that's okay, you might not need that, but you certainly do need the basic things that in your heart and soul make you feel that you're on a more secure playing field in your life. And that's the type of energy that March is bringing to you. I mean, this guy is very confident too. He's sitting back and he's relaxed and he's enjoying all the finer things of life. I mean, he is surrounding himself with his wealth, with his wine. You see the grapes there? I don't know if you can see it. With the pentacles, with his castle, with his crown. And his eyes are closed because he is content and secure in his life. And I wonder if that's what you're really wrestling with in March, Virgo. Are you wrestling with that feeling of needing more security in your life? For some of you, I mean, what does it mean to be more secure? It could mean that you may want to have a relationship that's based on something more solid, that gives you more commitment. maybe even through a marriage or moving in together or something, or using your joint finances to purchase something together, start a business, something that feeds your future security. This is what this guy is heralding for you in the month of March. So what could that be, Virgo? Again, another money card, balancing your money. Now I did say this to you at the start of the reading, that you may want a little bit of time to get away from some emotional high drama and put your foot back on dry land. It could be a good thing. Maybe it's all that intimate energy where you are deeply focused on your partner or other people in some way. And mid-March you'll be going, okay, back to reality, back to dry land again. And once you come back down to earth, you will have that opportunity to rebalance your life. I get the feeling that it's all about big life changes in March, Virgo. To be honest with you, it's big soul changes. You're looking at your love life differently. You're looking at your work life differently. And the burdens that you're carrying, that you're bringing into your future. 2 cards saying that it's probably a good time to address some things and let them go so that you can move into a better future that's more balanced, open, and that doesn't leave you feeling like you're up one minute and down the next, you know? And beside that, again, what is it that will give you that sense of balance? Now, for some Virgos, what will give you a sense of balance, and I hate to say it, some of you Virgos are seriously considering walking away from a relationship and finding a bit of space and time on your own. Because perhaps for some of you, your relationship has been a bit too imbalanced and it required you to step way out of your comfort zone. And like I said, you may have been doing all the running, you may have been doing all the work, too much pressure may have been put upon you, and you're saying, no, back to solid ground now, back to earth, and it's time to reclaim who I am. Because this card is about reclaiming who you are, finding yourself again. And in finding yourself, the 9 often represents self-belief. In finding yourself again, you will feel more confident. And once you rebalance any imbalances in your life, whatever they may be, Virgo, this is a general reading. I try not to focus too much on any one specific area, so I depend upon you here to know where these pieces fit in your life. And you will know at some point in March that you have to step back and you have to have a little time out and time alone. And really, you have to move through your life with a greater sense that you are the master of your own destiny, that you and you alone should be satisfied with how you're living your life, that your wisdom is enough to carry you through this life, and you don't need the influence of other people to make that happen. Okay? Now this is a really interesting card. This is another Pentacles card, money, earthiness, and your finances and self-value. And here you are feeling left out in the cold, left outside. This is a card which often comes up for people who are reclaiming the single life, that they don't want to be in a relationship anymore. They somehow recognize that they're much better off alone. And yet the next card is saying, yeah, okay, I might be better off alone, but it makes me feel so awfully lonely. Here I am again on my own, outside, feeling a bit desperate. All the good stuff is happening somewhere else and I'm out in the cold. It's the card of rejection, being shunned and turned away by somebody or some people. And you know what, baby, that won't last forever. That won't last forever. If people have rejected you in some way in March and you feel that they're giving you the cold shoulder or that they're not letting you in, that they have their world, they're busy, they're united in some way with what they're doing, and they're focused on that, and they're kind of leaving you outside of their world somehow. If you feel that, then know that it won't last too long. But I do get it, because beside you is the Aries card, Mars, the Emperor. He is the master of his own destiny. He's self-assured, he's confident. Whatever he wants to do, he just goes ahead and he does it. And yet, this is the very thing which may help you from feeling so left out, from feeling so rejected. If you can adopt the spirit, the Aries spirit of pushing ahead with your dreams, regardless of what is holding you back or who is holding you back, just keep going and have the passion and drive that he has. I mean, he looks like a god, but he's still only human. And the reason why he looks like a god is because he takes on the boldness and the daring that they have, that he sees past human frailty and human problems. And he kind of wants to turn his back on that and say, enough with the human problems and the drama. It's time to get back on your feet and regain your sense of confidence after this feeling of rejection. He's also an older person, if you can see here. And I know Saturn and Pluto in your 5th house of romance and falling in love and having little moments where your heart skips a beat. It could happen because it's Mars and an older person, say around the 18th of March, an older person, somebody who is not too much older than you, but significantly older than you, is giving you some inspiration, and they're going to offer you their confidence to help you get out of feeling so lost and rejected. I mean, they're quite specific cards, Virgo, so I do get that not all of this will apply to every Virgo. I get that, but like I said before, it's the energies that I'm talking about. So if you hear what I'm saying, the energies of what I'm saying may apply to you in a slightly different variation, but that is for you to put those pieces together, because I do understand not every Virgo wants to leave their relationship. Not every Virgo realizes that it's so out of balance that their only recourse is to just split and go back and celebrate the single life again. I know that. But there is a moment where you will see that energy and recognize it and maybe just take time outs or something like that. You know how this works, Virgo. Your last cards. This one first, the 3 of Wands. As March ends, you'll feel more inspired in your life. You'll feel that you finally get where you're supposed to be going in your life. You have passion and fire and direction, and you've taken the first steps, but now you're pushing it further. You remember I said the sun is shining on new projects that you have, or something new that you want to build and watch grow. And you've started, and now towards the end of March, you'll see that progress even further. You may even find yourself adding people to your projects, taking on people to help you, collaborating with other people. If you maybe work in an office, you might see that other people may need to be brought in to help you, because they're going to be highly inspired by you, Virgo, this month. And you will become like this great mighty leader, like him, who inspires people and says, follow me, I know where we're going, I know what to do. And that's a lovely switch in the energy from the beginning and the end of the month. The month starts off powerful with the Midas touch and ends finally with you saying, I get it, I know the path I'm going, I know the direction I need to follow. And beside that is the Hierophant. Now he's very representative of Jupiter, and Jupiter is going retrograde in your 3rd house. So if there are things you need to communicate, you need to expand upon that. Very simply, it could mean technology, that you need to increase your computing power, maybe get an extra computer or open up better channels of communication, expand your communication, go further with what you're trying to do, what you're trying to communicate, reach a further audience and communicate what you're doing with them. And this will give you strength. This is the card where you ultimately have the place where you draw great power. And where you draw great power is in your good, clear communication. Okay, Virgo, that's it for the month of March. I hope you enjoyed that. And I know it's going to be really good. And keep enjoying that fabulous sunshine feeling as the month goes through. And if this is your first time watching my videos, don't forget to subscribe here. You can like, share, and come back next month to see how this story continues. And I'm going to leave you with that. I love you so much, Virgo. And I'm going to leave you with a big kiss for luck. See you next time, Virgo.